open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
Let's get the topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right.
Alrighty then, what is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us once again live in the rec with Project Open Mic. I am your host, Tag of T3. I gotta do something there a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'll fix that. There you go. Might not be great, but hey, it's what I got. So hey, it is what it is. So, hope y'all are doing well tonight. I'm gonna do basically it's the Christmas season. Hope everybody's getting their hope you guys are doing your show, getting your stuff ready to go for Christmas. You're doing your thing, you're doing it great. And everything is doing well. So tonight we're going to be talking about some Christmas stuff. And gonna talk about some Christmas stuff and some stuff that's going on as we have more stuff to talk about, which is the show. Of more rules for the night for me as usual, and some sad, some good. But like I said, it's the start of the Christmas season. A little joking and everything as well too. So hey, we're gonna be doing about that in that regard right now. So I want to bring up, like I said, it's a Christmas season, so I want to bring up some good stuff right now about the Christmas season, which is good. So just want let's slowly just go towards what it is. So in North Carolina, there's a little city, a little city called Youngsville. Well, I've been there, and it's a quaint little city, quaint little town. There we go. Again, it's all I got. I gotta make it look as good as I can. So we're gonna make it as good as we can, as we can go in all regards. But with what's going on with now, yes, there's a lot of craziness going on in craziness going on with the world with the COVID and everything else. We know that. But right now, people need some normalcy. And when you have normalcy, that's what's needed right now. Now I could be doom and gloomy because there was a basically, and I'm not gonna show it because it's just bad. Little kid, 4 years old, was going to wanted if you all need to know this, but 4-year-old boy went to Santa Claus in the mall, asked for a Nerf gun and got a little berated from the Santa, which is crazy. Look, it's a little kid. It's 4 years old. Why don't you just, yeah, I don't know, just do it and move on. Do not throw your politics down at the kid. It's 4 years old. Just bad enough. So that's what I don't want to show the video because it's just horrible that people is. I mean, we don't need to put politics in every single thing. Now, this is a topical show, so I get that. But we don't need to put in everything. But that's it. But when I watch this happened last Saturday. This warms my heart, so I'll let you watch it along as well. So let's go and go there. It might be a commercial.
The ABC 11.
As I always thought, it always will be. You just can't help it. So, but anyway, yeah. Let me get to the story. And here we go.
Despite warnings from the local health department, the Youngsville Christmas Parade still making its way through the town this morning. Many of you watching the live stream of that on our ABC 11 Facebook page. And as cases are on the rise in Franklin County tonight, parade goers say they are not too concerned. Tim Pulliam was there and has more for us.
In Youngsville, Santa Claus floated through the town's Christmas parade. It's where hundreds of people showed up Saturday. Franklin County health leaders hoping COVID did not make a special appearance among those gathered, where some people were without a mask.
I'm not extremely concerned about it.
24-year-old Aaron Gillingham from Wake Forest drove the short distance to Youngsville with his buddies to support the mayor's decision.
I think it was awesome.
The parade route appeared crowded. Gillingham and his crew kept their distance but chose not to wear a mask.
I do not live with any elderly people. The coronavirus is not deadly to younger people for the most part.
But health leaders worry that logic could make the spike in COVID-19 cases and deaths in Youngsville even worse.
I love that phrase, logic, because it's really.
We have tested children as young as 4 months old who've been positive.
Health director. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's a sad thing, I should say.
We've seen 35 people in our county die from this virus.
Okay.
We've seen thousands infected. It will strain an already strained department and an already strained healthcare system.
But Mayor Fonzie Flowers disagreed and told us this on Friday.
If a Walmart, a Target, a Lowe's, a Home Depot, if they can have the number of people that they have in their store in an enclosed environment, we can certainly have a couple hundred Youngsville residents along our parade route.
Yeah, I feel perfectly safe. Yes,
Absolutely, yes. More than 6 feet apart.
It's been a tough year for everyone. So I think that we need to remember that kindness is important.
Despite the harsh realities of this deadly virus, this community desperately wanting to enjoy the holiday without judgment. The impact of this decision still yet to be determined. Tim Pulliam, ABC 11, Eyewitness News.
You know, funny enough, that happened a week ago. No spike. But maybe 2 weeks will be a spike. We'll see. 14 days is the quarantine, people say. So we'll see what happened. No spike though, because I checked to see if they had anything. And they didn't. People just want normalcy back in their life. And as the mayor said, and I agree 1,000% with, yeah, a Walmart, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, whatever. And the thing that always scare me is with always is people always like talk for the whole, oh, for small business we're gonna be there. Like when Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris said 2 Saturdays ago when they had Small Business Saturday, go out. Remember they said here's the contradiction that killed me with these people. Don't go out. Don't do this. Don't do that. Or Saturday. Oh, go out and share for your local business. What? Same local business. You're shutting down Gavin and Kamala because she's still the senator of California. The same business you guys shut down. And that's what killed me. 80% of the tax revenues from business comes from small business owners, and they're getting hammered and killed right now. Walmart's and the Targets and the big businesses got no problem. They could survive because that, but they don't shut down at not an inch unless they got looted. Other than that, they ain't shut down an inch. But the small business owners, they get stifled with the problem. That's unfair, man. That is unfair and unneeded for. But they don't care. And all the people's like, oh well, like I said, the big corporations. You're helping the big corporations. That's why, like I said, that's why I named the show "The Uninformed Easy to Control" because they're uninformed. They don't like they don't. That's why I said with the whole thing with we don't teach our kids stuff that we're failing our kids because they don't teach them economics. They don't teach them simple stuff that needs to be learned. And that's sad that happens. You can say all this stuff about the big corporation, but what all these governors who shutting down or mayors and all and the health department, like you just saw and everything, what those guys are doing are helping the big corporations. They're not helping the small people at all. At all. And I saw a video, little discovery documentary little things. Like I said, I like Discovery Channel to learn stuff. Because a lot of people are using a lot of online stuff, the Amazon and everything else, to gain more money than everything. Their stock has gone crazy up high and whatever. All that. You know what happened? There's more, and remember the people. These are the same people. Your AOCs and everybody's like, well, we got to stop for the planet because of the planet for environmental and also global warming and all this stuff like climate change. You know, you're making more waste online by shopping online. People are like, well, no, we could. Yes, you are. Because people now want to buy because they don't know this. A lot of people, young kids, they don't know the size of their clothes, so they don't know the size of the clothes. So what they do is they just what do you call it? They buy 3 or 4 pants. So you gotta buy the pants, choose the one that you like, then send it back. That's more back and forth. They don't get it. It's more back and forth. It's just crazy. So that's more fuel wasted. And trust me, in the future, I'll do a video about this because I don't understand this when they're like, oh, drones will be the future. Okay, drones will be the future of what? It makes no sense to have a drone. And again, I know about this because I have a drone. I do dronery. It make photography. I want to know how the heck that makes more sense than a truck to go through all. If you at a subdivision, a truck that could have all the stuff and go through all 100 houses. A drone is not gonna go through all 100 houses with all the weight and everything. So much different. And again, people are living more in the suburbs than in the city, so it's even making it worse. It's well, not really that much out of it, but they're learning now after COVID. But so the drone just makes no logical sense of it. Medical stuff, I get that. But to do deliveries like Amazon and Walmart want to do, that don't make no sense. You're wasting money and more energy and more time. It literally is. It's a waste of time. I'll do a video about that because I never see that again, just like I did with the COVID talking about the virus. I gotta break that down because that don't make no logical sense to me either. It really doesn't. But to the Youngsville people, good job. Thank you, Mayor, for having logical common sense. People enjoy their Christmas parade, as you saw. They had fun. They enjoyed normalcy. Let them do it. I have no problem with that. Those who think that's a problem, you don't go there. That's all. You want to stay in your house? Nobody stop you from staying in your house. That's all we got. That's all it is to be done. So let's move on to another thing that kind of like is weird for me. And this is my point of what I just said. And like I said to the mayor, I thank you for what you did. I thank you for what you did. Because of this. This is a heartbreaking story. Really it is. So Yeah. Let's take a look at this video and listen carefully. It's exactly what the mayor was talking about. The small business got hurt, but the large companies got happen. And look what the large companies could do when they have all that money. You could do all that money.
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved this. Has approved this being set up for a movie company. I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. Tell me that this is dangerous, but right next to me as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe. 50 feet away. This is dangerous. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
Before I continue on with that, that's what people who's rich, who's well connected could do. Okay, so the Hollywood, which of course propagates this nonsense more and more, and that's why I said in many times before, propagate this nonsense more and more to people, right? They get a special, and of course they pay the mayor and the governor off, of course, duh. So they got their little stuff to the side. They could go ahead. Remember, and I showed you last week with a woman also in California. She ate her food after she said she could ban outside eating. Of course, how funny how that works out, doesn't it? You saw in that video what the lady said. She has a little thing. Her tables are way more spaced out than the Hollywood one. There's 200 seats over there. She said she had 7 picnic tables, whatever, and they had 200 seats, and she couldn't get her stuff to make her food or whatever. But the Hollywood could get away with it. Rules for thee, not for me, huh? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And like I said, I mean, I felt for her. That's not even a slap in the face. That's a kick in the teeth. That's a kick in the teeth, man. And you know what's bad too? Like in Wisconsin, if you took the stimulus for the companies, whatever, Wisconsin basically up their property taxes onto the small business owners. Oh, great, that's a good idea. It's bad enough they're barely struggling, and you got up your taxes. You pieces of crap. A lot of these crazy cities, like in Minnesota and Washington, Portland, yeah, they're doing the exact same thing too. So you're barely working, but then you're upping the tax. Again, y'all want to be in those cities, go right ahead. That's why I live in the country. I ain't into that nonsense. But let's continue with the young lady, as Ruben did a good interview with her. So I just want to play that for you.
All right, everybody, I'm live This is Angela Marsden of Pineapple Hill Saloon in Sherman Oaks. She is the woman who put up that incredible video yesterday, who I don't think you wanted to become famous yesterday,
No,
did you? Was that the point of all of this?
No.
Did you want to become famous? What do you actually want to do?
I would actually love to run my restaurant, to run my successful pub that's been there since 1978 and feed my staff and take care of the community. My restaurant's a hub for the community. The people themselves will come just to go. If we can't even open now for to go, but before, just to see us and just to commune. And I just want to open up. I just want to open my restaurant up.
Yeah, and so even though you did your whole outdoor situation,
you can go to PH Saloon, or you can go to Pineapple Hill Saloon on Instagram, and there are photos. I took what little money I had. I don't have big investors. I'm a one-woman shop, and I did a patio. I followed all the rules.
Yeah.
The picnic tables were more than 6 feet apart. They're 7 to 10 feet apart, some of them. We did masks, we did temperatures, we did face shields, we did gel everywhere. I did plexi all through the inside. And as soon as I got the plexi done, they made us go outside. I turned a parking lot into an outdoor patio on my own with help with friends, you know? So there's no way, and there's no science that shows that outdoor dining is hurting anybody. I myself I'm not rich. I'm not Sheila Cooley. I actually have had tuberculosis and shouldn't be out. And
by the way, Sheila Cooley, the woman who voted, was the deciding vote, the 3-2 vote to shut down all the restaurants in LA, who went out to eat that very night. She makes, we're being told now, over $300,000 a year.
Yes, she makes $25,000 a month. A month.
Wow.
To sit at home and stay safely inside and eat $40 meals from Il Fanaio or Fornono or wherever she did it from.
Yeah.
But the point is this, guys, I've been working with the public since day one because I have not had the option to be inside not working. And I have not gotten the virus because we were safe. We did everything right. We did everything they asked, and they did it. They did it in the beginning. They give you a little project that costs you everything you have, and they think you won't reopen or can't reopen. Then you find a way to open, and then they change that on you.
Well, listen, you're a freaking hero. You are what America is all about, truly. What can people do to help you besides come out here? What else can we do?
We have a GoFundMe page.
I'll tweet out the GoFundMe I just did.
We have a GoFundMe page, but just keep supporting us because there's so many restaurants and there's so many owners. I have friends that haven't even been able to open because they didn't have food. They're losing everything. So just keep supporting, please.
Yeah. It's not just a white person. It's not this happening to Mexican, to Latinos, Mexican, Japanese, Black. This happening to a lot of people. I've showed you the video multiple times back with a Black lady who had a restaurant in not a restaurant, a deli shop with some guys from the Middle East. She had a shop. They got destroyed. So I was like it that, oh yeah, the BLM, those rioters and whatever were going around doing stuff, not the protesters. I make a difference. Protesters and rioters do everything. But with the rioters going around destroying stuff, oh, they're just doing it because they got to do the work. But people who are literally losing their jobs and losing their company and losing hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars they put into certain things because of nonsense. I'm not a fan of it. So that's why when you saw beginning with Youngsville, I have no problem with Youngsville doing what it did. Again, more power to Youngsville for doing that. It just don't make no sense. Now, I've shown you bad cops. I've shown you good cops. You know what? I want to show you, I want to give another good cop, I should say. And also, it's funny, in the county I'm in North Carolina, the cop, who was Black, said that he's not going to enforce Governor Cooper's rules of the curfew because it's stupid. Just like California one was stupid. So that's why when people say why I bag on California in most cases, because it spreads. That's why it spreads. That's the petri dish, and then it spreads to all over the place. California right now, because our governor in North Carolina said we're gonna be a curfew from 10 to 5 a.m. Okay. let me get this straight, and let me help people out to understand this. The virus doesn't come out that time of night and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be more dangerous." No, one, two. Unless you're like working at an airport, emergency, or you have a night job, whatever that's you're supposed to be, because essential, which again, everything is essential, whatever. The people who was going to be out at 10 o'clock at night, they didn't give a dang about the rules anyway. So it's just a gesture. It's not even a real thing. So it's so stupid and ain't asinine. But again, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, this sheriff right here. And let's hear what we got to say.
Closures and stay-at-home orders. These closures and stay-at-home orders are flat out ridiculous. The metrics used for closures are unbelievably faulty and are not representative of true numbers and are disastrous for Riverside County. He is expecting us to arrest anyone violating these orders, cite them and take their money, close their businesses, make them stay in their homes, and take away their civil liberties, or he will punish all of us. I believe that all jobs are essential to someone.
Amen.
Leaders do not threaten, attempt to intimidate, or cause fear. Bullies do.
Liberty is declining, and the coronavirus lockdown is a perfect example. Here's a question. In 1969, 100,000 Americans died of the Hong Kong flu, as it was called. 100,000. Not one day of lockdown took place. There were no laws about not leaving your house. There were no laws about where you can go, where you can congregate. The famous Woodstock, hundreds of thousands of young people getting drunk and dancing and singing and probably having some other forms of fun. The famous or infamous Woodstock. It took place during the Hong Kong flu. Talk about not safe distancing. The distance between hundreds of thousands of people there was probably often about, at most, a foot. And why didn't Americans get locked down, or for that matter, people in every other country like today? Because people believed in freedom then. It would have been unacceptable to Americans in 1969. You can't leave your house. They would have said, who are you to tell me where I can go? Tell me my risks and I will live accordingly. People valued life as much in 1969 as they do in 2020. Mm-hmm. So why was there no lockdown? Why could people go to restaurants, go to theaters, go to baseball games, football games? Why? It's a lot of people, 100,000 people. It's more than right now, at least. Unfortunately, I assume that the tally will go above 100,000 in the United States. It was 1 million around the world. Over 1 million people died of that flu. Nobody closed down. The truth is, we just don't value liberty as much. And here is my point. That's not the human instinct. Liberty is a value. You know what? Everything good is a value. Everything. Do you know what is an instinct? The human instinct is not liberty. The human instinct is to be taken care of. That's why communism was so popular among so many people.
You read about that. And I'm with the cop, yeah. I should lock down people, take away their stuff, whatever, and then fine them. Then for what? For you to make your money and go all over the place you want to do, Gavin Newsom? Get out of here with that nonsense. Cuomo, Whitman, I forgot the mayor up in Portland. All those guys, just crazy. Give people the data, like I stated before. Give people the data, let them make the decision. A lot of people are like, well, as Dan Sprague was, that clip was late before it was crazy, and it's gone up. And then as they say, it was 260 something, blah blah blah. Okay, again, dying with and dying with and from are two different things. I've explained it in my last video. Now, there's another thing that killed me about that too. I was listening to the news and seeing how people going. I said in a video, I said in my last video, which had the most views from Temporary FM and everything. Thank you for that. I said that they're gonna make the numbers congruent. In other words, they're not gonna say, "Oh, this is how much people died from COVID in 2019." Some might do that, but not a lot. They're going to do that. People who are responsible, people who got sense. But the news media, nah, they're going to use it to scare you. They're going to be like, oh, now it's 400,000. Well, no, compared to the last one, no, 500,000. They're going to continue the number just to scare people. Fear. If you ain't got, going to fear you and scare you away and do all kind of stuff. YouTube right now has changed their algorithms and terms of service so they could keep a certain way it is. And people say, oh, they don't sense. I remember one of the person who came to my house to eat food. Again, I have respect for the person, and we could talk and have conversation. And it's like they don't censor. I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you mean they don't censor? Well, it would be stupid for them to censor. Well, they're doing it. What do you mean it's not stupid? They're doing it. They are censoring. It doesn't make money. It doesn't make financial sense. But they don't care about financial. They care about what more. Remember what AOC said? Facts is not good. Feeling morally good is better. And morally good is but the morals are just messed up. A lot of people's morals are nowhere close to each other. Shouts and again, shouts to her because again, I have to give a bigger shout out to which I'll do a video upon again. You're gonna see like many videos in the YouTube channel, and I gotta spread it out. But Goya, my family has used you from when I was young. I'm not Hispanic, but hey, I love the seasoning. I love the stuff. The Goya, thumbs up. I like what you're doing. And other companies, you need to follow Goya and Red Bull. They follow what they do. Don't back down from Twitter. Twitter's a lot of again. I have a project over my Twitter page, but Twitter is just vile in most cases. That does not represent most of your customers at all. It is a megaphone over a speck of people. Twitter does not represent majority customers. Okay, seriously. If they start saying the nonsense, whatever, because I've seen, I just did a show for a podcast for gaming. I have another channel that do gaming, and I just did that show and showed that what they're doing with DC comments and all that stuff, and seeing that it's failed. It's not money, so you morally feel right while losing money. That's crazy. I don't know what kind of thought is that you morally feel right, which is still your morals are wrong. But you morally try to feel right, and you're not making no money. That is ridiculous. And I could go through other stuff, which I might do that on my own next week's show, where we show about charity, the truth behind charity. Also, not only the truth behind charity, but also the truth behind what they're trying to tell you about. Hey, let's go and have what do you call it? Invest into these things in a renewable, not renewable, in what's the word that they call it? I forgot what to call it. The source where it's like extendable source, something like you have a product and it lasts for whatever, and you go into and you if you go into those things as John Stossel did, and I've done myself to it. That's literally what I talked about on the podcast. We were going through about something with a gaming company and everything. They don't use the money for what they're supposed to use, or they give a small percentage, and they still make millions of dollars off of you just to make you feel. So you're giving money for them to make millions of dollars just so you can feel so. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. I never have, but I ain't going to do that. If I'm gonna give money to somebody, you gotta be at least 80% of the proceed goes towards the people, and I check to make sure they do that. That's why, again, for Temporary FM, for those listening, remember 2 years ago when you guys gave me over basically $1 million to help the people in the Caribbean after those two devastating hurricanes. I took your money, as you saw on my Facebook page and everything. I took your money, and make sure that it was going towards the people. I had people come and shake my hands, hug me, thank me. I walked down there with cases of stuff, help people, and also give it to some a charity that I know that was using the money the right way. If anything, just to be honest, if anything came out that time was basically I had a write off of taxes, but I didn't took the money and keep the money. No, I went down there myself. Basically, when I came back from there, I had a flu because I was running my body ragged, helping people, lifting, moving stuff, cleaning. Oh my goodness, ridiculous. So I was doing that. We don't if ands or nothing. Of course, it helps to make sure that people are responsible for what their charity. Because you took your hard-earned money, gave it to me to help the people in the Caribbean, and I made sure that that money goes to where it's supposed to be. So, yeah, it's just sustainable. I think that's what it's called, sustainable. So it's like it's so crazy how they come with new words just to trick people. That's why you got to be careful. Uninformed. Yeah, it's not great. I might even still get the video. I might still see if I get the video. You know what? I might still see if I get the video. Just so I have the so you guys can see it. Because it just to me, you gotta be informed. You gotta understand how these people do this stuff. To show you. Oops. Need that. I need.
It's that.
Need that. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'll show you about that with charity and everything. Cause it needs to be seen. And again, it's funny that you were like, oh, remember people say, oh, we don't want the big companies we don't want the corporations to get the money. Y'all argue, Jeff Bezos has all this money. Y'all basically gave him the money. And the politicians did too. You know? And all they do is give them money. They don't, and after, they say, okay, Jeff Bezos gave $30 million, $40 million, Facebook, $100 million. And what does the money go to? Nothing. So they feel good giving the money, get a tax write-off, but the people who get it, they, of course, scam the money, get the money, swindle the money. Again, that's why let me just show you.
Or to charity this time of year. Americans give more than any other people in the world. Yep. But because charity doesn't end poverty, our government declared
unconditional war on poverty in America.
That war has now cost $27 trillion.
Be careful when governments say a lot of crazy stuff, but it's right.
It's helped some people, but it had a bad effect. It created a new underclass.
Oh, it helps some people, and it helped a lot of people, the rich, to get more richer because they know how, the politicians know who's the grease. That's why I have a problem with looking at size. I mean, I have no problem with Joe Biden, whatever it is, but the problem is though, Joe Biden has been hiring people who cause these problems. He's hiring the same people. He's basically putting his cabinet, the same people cause these problems. And y'all like, oh, this is great. No, it's stupid.
Generations who stay poor, people who don't try to become independent.
I ain't here to get some benefits, you know what I mean? I'm here to get a check.
A government handout can do that to people.
By making them dependent on the welfare state and teaching them, in a sense, that they didn't have to work.
Yaron Brook is one of many who argue that our welfare state does more harm than good. Look at the poverty rate. Before government got involved, Americans were lifting themselves out of poverty. When welfare began, progress continued for about 7 years, but then it stopped.
The government creates dependence by the very fact that it sends you a check, a welfare check or food stamps, just based on your status. And indeed, when you get a job, you lose some of that status. So your checks get smaller and smaller.
How much I work generally will decrease my benefits.
As soon as you start doing good, they take everything away from you immediately.
You're losing money.
You should.
By taking on a job.
Government rarely pushes anyone to stop taking handouts.
They kind of make too much money off it themselves.
Charity's often better at lifting people up.
Men and women we serve have been in prison, homeless shelters.
This charity helps people find real work.
And every time I get my paycheck, I know that I earned that. And for the first time in my life, I could say that.
I donate to this charity because I notice that the men they help, mostly ex-cons who pick up trash, work with a positive attitude. They walk with their heads held high because this charity encourages them to take responsibility for their lives instead of taking handouts.
They don't allow you to get food stamps or anything or nothing like that. That's not allowed to go from. They want you to be independent. You go out there and you make your own money. You know, you get your self-esteem back.
But not all charity helps. Facebook's founder donated big to Newark's public schools.
A $100 million challenge grant.
That $100 million was wasted.
My kids, they don't have any school books. So my thing is, as a parent, where's the money going?
It's gone.
Now, as I stated before, school books, that's a weird thing too. Now, if it's the school books like textbooks, she's 100% correct. If it's, there are places where they don't even give children regular comprehension books, writing books. I'm like, wait. Those and pencils and stuff. There are parents out there, and I blame the parents on that one. How the hell your child don't have pencils, pens, and notebooks? What are you doing? And I've seen those parents got their hair did, nails done, all kind of stuff, watches, all fan, but your children is just in total disarray. Both sides on that one, but again, on the textbook side, if it's textbooks, and yeah, because I remember you have to pay for some people they have to pay for textbooks, which is ridiculous.
The New Jersey public schools didn't get better. The performance of the students didn't get better.
True.
It is being completely wasted.
Did Zuckerberg even notice? He and other billionaires can waste money because they're now so rich.
How moral is it to have that much at all?
Activists guilt them into giving money away.
Shouldn't they give up a whole lot more?
Jeff Bezos just gave $10 billion to already rich climate change alarmist groups. But that won't appease the left. Protesters gathered outside his home and assembled this guillotine. The message, rich people should be beheaded.
But you still force them to give $10 billion. Funny how that works, huh?
And yet all of our lives are dramatically better because of somebody like Jeff Bezos. Things just appear at our doorstep. They hire hundreds of thousands of people, making it possible for poor people to make a living by selling me something that I want.
People say it's so evil that he has so much when others have so little.
It's his money.
Then don't buy from Amazon. Oh wait, you're not going to. Including the people who always say, "Oh, well, we can't." The same people, not gonna say it's hypocritical thinking, of course. Don't buy from Amazon. Go to your local stores. That's what you're supposed to do. But you're the same people who say, shut this down because spread the virus, but Amazon can still make their money. It's nonsense.
He made it. He created it. Once we start deciding what you can do or can't do with your property, what we will get is, and what we've always gotten in history, is extreme poverty for everybody. The system that has brought people out of poverty, that system is capitalism.
That's what I've learned from years of consumer reporting. Government is necessary for some things, but it's inefficient and its programs encourage dependency. Charity's better because charities can figure out who really needs money versus who needs a push. But oddly, what helps the most people most efficiently is greedy, self-interested capitalism.
8 out of 20.
250 years ago, almost all of us, we basically were earning what the United Nations today defines as extreme poverty, $2 a day or less. That was 94% of all people on planet Earth. Today, only about 8% are that poor. Why? Not because of charity, not because of foreign aid, but by employing people. Businesses are the most efficient because they have the right incentives, because they won't survive if they're not efficient. Government has no such incentives, and charities are mixed.
So why do entrepreneurs now rush to donate rather than doing more of what they're best at, innovating?
Within 30 minutes of placing the order, the customer receives their package.
They want to be liked. What they're doing is buying into false ideas, both economically and false ideas morally. And unfortunately, as a consequence, they are acting against their self-interest and against all of our interests, including the interests of the poor.
Yep. That is so true. And just to continue on with that, I want to continue on to this as well. I want to continue on to this as well too, because it's all into one thing.
Help the world? You can, says Wall Street. Socially responsible investments
Just trying
give
to
you
scam.
The opportunity to do good without sacrificing competitive returns.
Cool. I can protect the environment, improve society, invest in companies that respect indigenous people, and create
a more sustainable world, a more compassionate world.
Trillions are pouring in.
Impact investing is growing at a much faster rate than mainline investing.
The full integration of sustainability factors.
Yes, former Vice President Al Gore is one of many promoters.
Can actually enhance returns.
They do enhance his returns. The management fees help him pay for his many homes.
It is the single largest investment opportunity.
His and other allegedly responsible.
And you know what's funny about it? Most of his homes use as much energy as a neighborhood. I have a few houses in my neighborhood. His houses use more energy than in my neighborhood, and I know that because I have my power bill that just came last month. The power bill I have, my power bill is give me a second. There you go. My power bill that I had last month and the month before because I have solar power. Last month bill was $20, and then this bill is $13. So I'm doing my part. The people created the solar panels, like he was saying, as John Sauce was saying in the last video, that they create something that I wanted that could help stuff. I feel good that I'm using all these lights. Like I said, if any peaks in a day, it's mostly when I'm doing the 2 radio shows Monday and Friday, because I have lights to show. But okay, of course, I get LEDs, 1, and 2, I get efficient light bulbs, of course, like I said, so you can see this, whatever. I build my own PC. I make sure as best as I can to regulate it so you have no problems. So like I said, it is a spike, yes, in my power. But again, $20 the month before, and this month bill is $13, I think it was 75 cents. And Al Gore, who says all this nonsense, kills power grids. I mean, jeez. Man, this dude is something else.
Is the single largest investment opportunity.
His and other allegedly responsible funds say they do 2 good things.
To support sustainable projects now, while also providing a dignified retirement for people.
But they're really not doing either one of those things.
Economist Thomas Hogan examined their promises.
I've had a lot of experience looking at these types of investments, and they don't actually accomplish the goals of being environmentally or socially responsible.
For example, Al Gore says his so-called sustainable investments
Can actually add to performance.
But
if you look at what they're investing in, they're not really making socially conscious investments. Their number one holding is the parent company of Google. They're just buying basically regular companies.
And we have to find how to get the passive investors.
It makes people feel good. People want to feel like they're making a difference, and these companies are able to sell that.
Some so-called green investments did well lately because oil prices dropped. But most will probably give you lower returns because they charge higher fees. This fund eats more than 0.5% of your money every year. Second problem, sustainability is often just marketing. Parnassus brags about the social impact of its investments in, are you ready? U.S. foods and Clorox. Parnassus says food and cleaning supplies help meet UN sustainability goals like nutrition and sanitation.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, these products are useful, but there's nothing especially responsible about them. BlackRock's Socially Aware Fund brags it gives you 2.6% more exposure to gender diverse boards. 2.6%? Who cares? This environmentally aware fund also invests in Chevron and Exxon. We asked BlackRock if one of their people would appear in this video. They declined.
Of
So
course
this is
they will.
really just a new way for Wall Street to scam rich people.
These companies are saying one thing and giving them another.
In some cases, they do worse. Most green funds won't invest in the Keystone Pipeline. But pipelines are better for the environment than the alternative, shipping oil by truck.
And fracking.
Some green investors oppose fracking. But the U.S. led all countries in reducing carbon emissions,
exactly.
Mostly because fracking's natural.
But of course, they, again, uninformed people don't see this because what they just thinking, oh, that oil. Again, you're not gonna get rid of fossil fuels. Joe Biden could say all he could say. He's not gonna get rid of fossil fuels. Oil is in every single. We use oil for a lot of things, not just for cars. Again, U.S. is the one who leads most of it. France is right close beside because what they have nuclear power, and they just opened a new nuclear plant. And just released a new nuclear ship. Huh.
Natural gas reduced demand for coal and high carbon oil. The ugly truth is that most so-called sustainable investment funds charge more to sell feel-good nonsense.
Doing good and doing well can make you feel good as an investor.
But it shouldn't make you feel good to pay more to accomplish nothing.
Normal businesses operating and creating things that consumers want, that creates a lot of value for society, and not these funds that are supposed to be doing something socially or environmentally responsible.
There you go. Just to prove my point onto that regard, that these people it's a scam. And Al Gore is just a horrible scam person as well, to get up there, stand up there talking like again, with his multiple houses, and he fly? He was a vice president, so yeah. So yes, he has to have protective. I get that with a chat. So I get that. I understand that. I'm not like I said, I don't have to lie to somebody just to prove them that they're wrong. So yes, but still, all them houses and everything, the big talk you have. He said Kilimanjaro in 2014 when he said back in 2001 that Kilimanjaro was going to lose its snow caps. 2014, Kilimanjaro had more snow than they had ever than 2001. All right, it's just weird how certain people look at this. You got to be informed. You got to take the time. And I always said, yes, I understand a lot of you guys have kids, have a life and everything, but not being informed in certain cases make things weird, and also change your future for the worse in most cases. Which we'll get into that. You know what? Nah, let's just get straight into it. Let's just get straight into it and talk about it. And then we could end it off with our usual stuff. But before that, I want to check out something too, because I want a quick little bit right here. So the teachers union most teachers unions I'm not a fan of because they don't care about the kids. They just there to get more people into the unions. I'm basically not a union person myself. If somebody want to do a union, it's all right. That's what they do. But I don't think we need a lot of some of the unions in government should not be there because they're basically lobbying. They're using the funds and lobbying. The people who pay for it, which is the taxpayers, ain't got no seat at the table. But they lobby themselves. Hey, John, how you doing? Oh, I'm all right, Tim. All right, how much money we should be giving you today, Tim? I think we should go about $15 an hour. Oh, $15 an hour? Okay. All right. Well, who gonna get the money? Oh, well, the taxpayers, but the taxpayers don't worry about nothing like that. Don't worry about that. We ain't gotta tell them nothing. All right, $15 a day it is. Seal. All right, let's go. That's how it works. Suckily, it's not a parody of what I just did. It's literally that's how it works. It's bad. So, like I said, they don't care about the kids. Teaching from home is a failure. Every metric, everybody tests it. Teaching from home, distant learning is a failure. All the people who can afford the money to be in private schools, and that's what it is. They're touching the private school against the school. Now they're failure. They're literally abruptly not doing. These kids are not learning nothing, and it contributes to the point of what I was saying before. We are failing our children because this is making them more and more unintelligible and uninformed. And if they're uninformed, you can easily control them. That's the whole case. You're gonna hear some curse words. I apologize for that, but this is a teacher. Now, these are people who are just outside protesting. Okay, remember, she got no problem with protesting for the BLM and all that stuff and destroying stuff. But for people who want to protest so they could have their jobs and their small business to open, that's a problem. And let's hear what this teacher has to say. This is not representative of all teachers as well, too. They just every sector of thing has crazy people. Cops, doctors, everything. Just could be even-handed to what I'm saying. But this is crazy for a teacher to be saying this, though. Whew. I don't want you to be teaching my kids at all. You're a nut job. You're a nut job. And sadly, most of the people who are easy to retain and whatever, they might be educated, but they're very naive and very unintelligible. White leftist women. It just is. There are other people up there. White leftist women, they can have all the plaques on the wall, but they say the most stupidest things sometimes. That's why I love that quote from I Am Legend with I Am Legend. Yeah, with Will Smith, where he's like, you're the stupidest, smartest person I ever met. That is a true statement because that's what you have all your degrees. Education, as Andre said in the Andre Corner on YouTube, you go on the corner. Intelligence and being educated are two different things. Just like I said with the whole COVID and everything, it's two different things. Reading a book and reciting and remembering everything, that's education. Thinking on your feet, knowing what to do, using your simple sense, simple sense how to do certain things, that's intelligence. And some people are very low in that degree at all. They are very low and very unintelligible people. So with that, let's go into another one. So I only did this to show you because we're gonna see the video. Now you saw a video from this person already that I've showed on this channel multiple times. But let's play the game show, shall we? Let's go along and play with the game show because that's what I want to do. Play the game show. This is why this is the whole unintelligible thing.
Really? Wow.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and Democrats will have you believe that President Trump is a raging racist and Joe Biden is a champion of the black community. Well, I'm here in Harlem to find out by playing America's favorite game, Is This Racist? So I hit the streets to find some Biden-supporting Democrats to play the game. Let's go. Okay, the game is this. I'm going to give you a quote, and you're going to tell me how racist that quote is from 10 being most racist, 1 being least racist.
I've been around. I went to all-white high school, so I'm ready for this.
Referring to Barack Obama, he said, first mainstream African-American who is bright, articulate, and clean. How racist.
10.
Who is bright, articulate, and clean.
Yeah, that's up there. That's like got to be like a 10, a 9. Yeah, because it's like you're implying that most black people, most African Americans aren't that way.
That's just like that was just like moderate racist.
It's kind of racist. I would say probably 9.
Just because somebody's articulate and clean and they happen to be black, that's not a reason to say it like that. So, I would say that on a scale
on the racist-o-meter.
8.
That was a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
So still racist.
That's still racist.
But not crazy racist.
Yeah, not crazy, like, not huge.
Right.
Like.
Say that's like a 9.
That's a 9.
That's,
Wow.
that's a 9. That's a 9.
So he said, if you don't vote for me, talking about black people, well, you ain't black.
That's 10. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. I'm gonna say that one is definitely not as high as the other one.
Okay.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
But I would say that's like a 6, 7.
A 6, 7.
6.5.
6.5. I like that. I like the accuracy on that.
Yeah.
The exactitude.
A 10. And for someone to imply that is a bit like, who are you to tell me if I'm black or not?
We're counting down.
It's so funny how you could, now that YouTube now makes all kind of ads on every single thing. Oh, you can't skip it. They did that last week, that you're going to have ads on every single thing. Of course you would, YouTube.
So yeah, I'd say that's about a 10.
I'm gonna give that an 8.
An 8.
That's just a dumbass comment, right?
Referring to inner city busing, bringing black people to white schools, he said that would create a racial jungle. I don't want my kids going to a racial jungle. How racist is that?
It's like a 9.
By doing that, you're creating racial jungles. And I don't want my children going to race. That's a 10.
That's a 10.
Spot, off the bat.
I was bust. I understand that. That's a 10.
Straight up.
Straight up.
I would say 10.
That's a reader racist quote.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would say 10 too.
10.
That's a 10.
Why would you say something like that? That's like pretty much saying that's a jail. If you had a 20, it would be a 20.
That was as racist as you can get.
Yeah, that's racism in a book. Like, if you want to be racist, you got to say that line.
Like, who said that?
I was just
Right.
say the N-word. Yeah, pretty much.
In referring to inner city Baltimore, he said it's a rat-infested hellhole.
That's 100% true. It is.
So
It
not
goes more a lot.
So not a racist statement.
Not a racist statement at all. Like him, one.
You're living in poverty and your schools are no good. Is that a racist statement?
No. Not whatsoever. I would say probably 1.
Look at 3. That's true. See, these are facts. So you can't put it in a racist category because he's stating something that's really basically facts.
Our inner cities are a disaster. Is that a racist statement?
Saying that, but it's not racist. I would say probably 2. Been like that forever.
Okay.
I don't feel it's a racist statement. It is something that's real that needs to be changed.
Okay.
Probably, I would put that 0.
The quote about Barack Obama being bright, articulate, and clean, Joe Biden.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. And that was his VP, like, wow.
Yeah, a little surprised?
Yeah.
The quote about you ain't black, you don't vote for me was Joe Biden.
He said that?
He did say that.
Wow.
You seem blown away.
Yeah, because it's just like, as someone who's, I'm not gonna lie, an open Democrat, like, you would expect that when you represent that party, you wouldn't feel comfortable saying things like that in the open and on media. So when you have so many people, specifically black people, that are backing you, and you just felt comfortable saying something like that.
Saying you don't vote for me, you ain't a black person, Joe Biden.
Yeah, he did say that. I remember that was viral. Yeah.
Joe Biden again?
Joe Biden again. Joe Biden said to Charlemagne the God.
Wow.
And the last quote about the racial jungle with busing was Joe Biden.
It makes me fearful.
Everybody knows Joe Biden is racist. Why?
Does everybody know that?
I think you should know that Joe Biden ran 3 times for president and he's racist. He never won unless it was an actual black person on his ticket. So.
Because most people were shocked to hear those quotes that came from Joe Biden.
Really?
Yeah, most people here did not know that.
It's very sad.
You think the Democratic Party has taken the black vote for granted?
Definitely. 100%. They want our vote, but it's not nothing being done to make a difference as far as the conditions and the changes that we really need. It goes to a deaf ear. It's like nobody's listening to what needs to be done.
I feel like they come in and do a photo op and try to highlight it instead of really fixing the issue. Because later on down the line, you get in office, you turn your back on us.
Of course, everything has always been for years.
I would say somewhat.
I might also say that when they need what, that's when they come to us.
Right.
And after that, hey.
You don't see them no more.
They only use it for their game when they trying to win an election.
I'm going to be honest with you, I genuinely feel that way. I find that when black people, when it's time to vote, they kind of like go to the black community like, we have your vote, we have your back, right? And black people are like, yeah, and then it's like as soon as, the vote's done and you have it, it's like you drop us like a hot sack of potatoes and you just like walk away.
Always.
It's like you don't do anything for our communities, you don't do anything.
And before I continue, always, and I'm a libertarian, not saying the Republicans could do any better because I got my problems against the Republicans saying that you don't go out to these communities and check and talk to the people. Only certain Republicans like a Dan Crenshaw or Kim Klacik. Trump was another one who did that. Giuliani did it as well too. Like the only certain Republicans that went out of that. Most of the established ones, they don't give a rat's ass about the black people either. The Republicans. That's why I'm a libertarian. So again, just to be honest and fair about it.
For like us in general.
Most of the time, they don't do what they're supposed to do for black people. So it's like no matter what, they're gonna vote for us anyway because that's how we're conditioned to vote for Democrats.
You say Barack Obama did anything to improve your life over that 8 years?
No, not at all. He did nothing for me.
In the 8 years he was president.
We are being sent.
Which I should let this play really, because they are getting censored.
A significant improvement in your day-to-day life?
Not me.
Did your lives get better under Barack Obama?
None of them have improved our lives. The only thing that improved is that a black man was in office. Her mother's life. Nothing has changed.
Not quite. We was happy to see a black person in the White House.
Sure.
But it didn't really, there was no big change that we expected. He said, yes, we can.
More black people actually died in America when he became president.
During his term?
During the first term and everything.
But in Barack Obama days, he was just sweet talking.
Ooh.
Sweet talking.
Oh.
It's a black person in office, so we automatically just run to it and say it's a good thing. Right. When it's not. Obama wasn't a good person. He has killed children and women.
But he didn't deliver.
So you're saying in the inner cities, right?
Yeah.
Democrats are being voted for, nothing's being changed.
Correct.
So you're implying that we should vote for Republicans in those cities and see if there's going to be a difference?
That's what the Republicans are saying.
That's what they're saying.
For sure.
Huh. If something's not working, like, someone's got to be open to new ideas, obviously. But let's hear these ideas first. Why not?
Okay, there you go. That's funny. I just love that because, yeah, what you expect. And those same people, what they're doing is they're the same people who make all these rules and then don't follow them. I'm laughing because people are like, oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. It's just ridiculous. Well, let's just finish it off. Let's go back to one of my favorite people like to use. So you see the usual round. Let's go to one of my favorite persons to finish off because you know what? It's just, you can't help it. You just can't help because these are special people. Again, they just told you about the whole Democrats, everything. Well, here we go. Andrew, take it away.
Hey everyone, In my last video, I pointed out several politicians being hypocritical during the health crisis, and within hours of publishing it, even more instances had come to light. And it was enough content to make a new video. So I guess this is part 2 in an ongoing series.
Yep. Rules for thee, but not for me.
This is the mayor of Austin, Steve Adler. In a video shared on his Facebook page on November 9th, Adler warned residents of a spike in the number of cases.
Our numbers are increasing, and everybody has to be aware of that. And then we need to, stay home if you can. Do everything you can to try to keep the numbers down.
That smile, I swear, these people have that smile that just makes me cringy. It's just like, I don't trust you bastards.
This is not the time to relax.
What you might not know is that Mayor Adler was giving his message from his family's timeshare in Mexico. And before he flew to St. Lucas on a private jet, must be nice, he hosted a wedding and reception for his daughter at a hotel in Austin. And after the news broke about his hypocrisy, Mayor Adler decided to address it in a Facebook video. But first, he showed this chart and talked about stage 3 risk-based guidelines.
When we're in a yellow zone, we say that it's okay to go to restaurants. But of course, we've asked you to eat outside because it's safer. We've asked you to keep your party at the restaurant to 10 or fewer people.
Okay, so keep your party to 10 or fewer people, and it's not a problem for the mayor, just as long as he's setting an example and following the same rules himself.
The first week of November, my daughter got married here in Austin. And like many other brides, she had to cancel her original plans in order to follow the rules.
The problem...
I feel sad for her, like every other bride, you're right. So that means you canceled outright or you had less than 10 people, right?
Is in her subsequent plans, she didn't follow the rules and neither did the mayor. According to KView in Austin, the wedding and reception was attended by 20 guests. And that went against stage 3 guidelines to avoid social gatherings with greater than 10 people.
Sarah was beautiful. The wedding was beautiful and intimate. And most importantly, she was happy.
Oh, so daddy's little girl could be happy, but daddy's little girl from other guys, nah, y'all can't be happy.
Translation, I will break the rules for my daughter because my sweet little girl's happiness on her wedding day takes priority over following arbitrary guidelines. Furthermore, the website for the hotel where the event was held states, Hotel St. Cecilia remains open for a very limited number of essential travelers and those that need a space during these strange times. Oh, so does it mean that the hotel deemed Adler and his guests to be essential travelers? Anything to make the mayor's daughter happy. I mean, that's what's important. And as his trip to Mexico, a trip that included 8 other family and immediate family members?
I recognize that my travel set a bad example.
You think?
I recognize that the fact that I took that trip and at the same time was continuing to urge people to be cautious is confusing.
Nah, really?
Yeah, just hypocritical.
I know that others have chosen not to travel.
No, someone's not travel except for you politicians to do this nonsense. And when people try to do, they have to do certain things, including travel to see their grandmother if they're gonna die, or grandfather, or see something great. No, they couldn't do it because you shut them down, but you could go do it.
Under the same circumstances. And I know that in my position, I need to send a clearer message. Yeah. I'm sorry I took that trip.
And
the usual. You saw you got caught. That's what it is. You ain't sorry you took the question. You saw you got caught.
We're sorry that you're in a position of power.
It was a lapse in judgment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
I want you to know that I apologize.
For the record, there is nothing wrong with traveling or hosting an outdoor wedding at a hotel. Live your life. But you shouldn't be doing those things if you're telling others that they should avoid certain situations if they can.
That's where my problem comes
when
in.
you won't. It's not brain surgery. Then there's Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards. who was photographed at a country club standing next to a table of people while not wearing a mask. A spokesperson for the governor claimed that someone at another table spoke to Bell Edwards and that he briefly stood up to speak to that person while forgetting to put his mask back on. The spokesperson also stated he is not in violation of his own orders. He had his mask on the entire time that day, except when he was eating or standing.
If you'll see, I was outdoors at a table. I don't know exactly. It looked to me like I was getting up to leave. Had that photo been taken 10 seconds later, you would have seen me with a mask on.
But that's the point. He didn't have it on when the picture was taken, and without that context, it looks like he is flouting the rules. Furthermore, when his spokesperson said that the governor forgot to put it on, it could be interpreted that the governor maybe needs to take his guidelines a little more seriously. And it doesn't help that the governor is doing this at a country club that you will never be invited to, chilling out with his fat cat friends.
Exactly.
Here we go with the fat cat bashing.
Always. And that is literally because of and I think that guy's a Republican. So again, made no difference what it is. I just don't like these politicians saying this crap.
A mayor, Sam Liccardo, who's very concerned with public health, and you know that he's super serious about it because he's wearing a mask in his profile picture. The day before Thanksgiving, Mayor Liccardo tweeted, "Cases are spiking, in part because we're letting our guard and masks down with family and friends. Let's cancel the big gatherings this year and focus on keeping each other safe." The next day, the mayor attended a Thanksgiving gathering at his elderly parents' home in Saratoga with 7 relatives from 5 different households. And as you know from my previous video, California restricts gatherings with people from more than 3 households. When NBC Bay Area News initially reached out for comment, the mayor's chief of staff responded, "This is a private event, not public. We're going to redraw the line between what is personal and what is public because that line has become blurred."
Get the hell out of here with that nonsense.
In other words, yes, he was violating state restrictions, but he was doing it in private, so mind your damn business.
Exactly. Hey, not how funny how that works. At least you be that way.
In an interview on NBC Bay Area News, Begad Shaban bluntly asked the mayor the following.
Did you not know about the state health guidelines, or did you know and just decide to break them anyway?
I rationalized and believed, well, if I'm outdoors and I'm...
Oh, you rationalize. Oh, you can do that. But we, the small peons can't do that. Okay.
Only with 7 members of my family, and we're all sitting at 3 different tables, and we're spatially
So could anybody else could have done the exact same thing, Mayor?
distanced, and we're all wearing masks. I rationalized it would be fine.
In other words, Mayor Liccardo knew about the rules and didn't give a fuck.
This is really hard. These rules are tough.
You passed the rules on, you piece of crap.
I know I broke them.
Oh, well, okay, you got caught.
So I know how tough it is to follow the rules.
These rules are really tough. Don't you see? He's the victim. But let's face it, he didn't think he was going to get caught. Then there's San Francisco Mayor London Breed.
Oh, this peach of a peach.
Great name. The San Francisco
I talked about this last time, but at least Andre's bringing it up.
Chronicle reported that Mayor Breed had attended a birthday dinner for socialite Goretti Lou at a restaurant in Napa called the French Laundry. And you might recognize that name because that's where California Governor Gavin Newsom attended a birthday dinner with 11 other people, violating a state requirement prohibiting gatherings with more than 3 households.
And it was 22 people.
And remember, this is a requirement that the governor approved and then disregarded because he didn't think he was going to get caught either. What can I say? He's better than you. As for Mayor London Breed, 3 days after indoor dining at the French Laundry, in the very room that Gavin Newsom and his lobbyist buddy celebrated, Mayor Breed banned indoor dining in San Francisco. So she can do it safely, but you can't. She's better than you. After the news broke of her outing in Napa, Mayor Breed and members of the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management conducted a live stream.
I do want to address the issues about the restaurant I visited in Napa County. As I said yesterday, It doesn't matter if I wasn't technically violating local health orders, because I know that as mayor, I should hold myself to a higher standard.
Why do they all say that? All of them. You got caught. Jeez.
So while she may not have violated local health orders, it's likely that she violated state health orders.
She did.
According to the press director for the mayor's office, 8 people attended the dinner. And the names of the dinner attendees were not provided, but we can do some math. Along with Mayor Breed, of course, was the birthday girl Goretti Lou and her husband Lawrence. So that leaves 5 mystery people. And unless the mayor's office gives us those names, we have to assume that the mayor is hiding that there were more than 3 households in attendance. Which means that technically, she probably violated state health orders.
I know that none of us thought that in 2020, we'd be in the midst of a global pandemic. Who would have thought that this would have ever existed in our lifetimes?
I did, to be honest with you. 100 years, yeah. Let's go back over the 100 years before that, from 1900 to 2000. There were multiple pandemics. That's the thing that killed me. People don't forget about that. There were multiple pandemics: Hong Kong flu, Spain, measles, German measles. They had all kind of outbreaks. We didn't shut down. But anyway.
The impacts we've all experienced on our mental and emotional health
Because of you guys.
have been tremendous, and that includes me.
Oh, I see. The highest paid mayor in the United States, who gets to attend birthday parties held at 3-star Michelin rated restaurants, is suffering, just like you. Yeah, we're not buying it, princess. Anyway, to close it off, I present to you my favorite moment from Mayor Breed's Zoom apology. Enjoy.
I think about the people whose lives I'm responsible for, that the decisions I make impact people's jobs and their families. And I'm doing my very best for this city. No one is perfect, and certainly not me.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, these are horrible people, and y'all keep voting these people back in. Oh my God. Oh, that's just horrible. But you know what? That's what we got. That's what y'all put yourself in, true. And that's all I talk about. These people don't care about you. They never have. They never will. They're high. They think they're higher than thou, and they surprise all these people. We showed you. I showed multiple mayors, governor. I showed you mayors and governors. A little bit of Republican, but mostly Democrat. Who these cities are getting run, railroaded, destroyed, and everything. They don't care about you. They don't. They make these rules, and then they keep on living their lives while you lose your livelihood, your money, your house. You get evicted because, yeah, that's what they think. And because, as I showed before, because a lot of people are unintelligible or basically uninformed, that's the better way to say it. I apologize. They are uninformed. That's why we could get you to vote for them, because you don't know that these people are horrible human beings. And the news media does a horrible job too. As I stated once, I say multiple times. Seriously, use your thinking meat. As I always say, use your thinking meat. Use your critical thinking. Watch all the news. Every one of them, they're not lying per se. They spin, but there is a common thread. Once you find a common thread, you know what the news is. Outside of that, no. Everything is spin. Again, from Fox to MSNBC, NSBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, all of them, they spin it. And I can tell you right now, I'm scared for when Joe Biden get in, because I know, like they did with Barack Obama, as those black people learn as well, they're going to be, how should I say this? The news media going to fawn over for Joe Biden, including when Kamala Harris becomes president. And Joe Biden basically mostly kick the bucket, or they're going to use it to get it out. They're going to fawn over, and she is also very uninformed, unintelligible, and don't give a rat's butt about nothing. She went horizontal to go vertical. That's the best way I could put it in a clean sense for that. But with that said, that's just how things are working out with that. I want to. We're gonna see what happened. We're gonna see what happened. But for me, I hope everybody out there start is doing good. I'm looking at my little Christmas shop list myself to see what I need and what other people need. I need to do stuff in this house that I built. They do some more stuff in there. But again, if you can travel and be safe, visit the grandma, because there was another sad story where this woman that she used in Canada had used euthanization, sorry, because her health dropped dramatically in the first shutdown, and now the second time she said she didn't want to go through that, so her family came to saying, wow, it was kind of macabre. Wow, she basically goes through that because it was just so bad before the lockdown happened. That's horrible. But look, protect yourself. Protect the elderly, protect those who are vulnerable. I have a friend right now who also, got COVID, 2 families, of course, have COVID, and I hope she, like I said, I'll see what happens. With that regard, I hope she does good and she makes it through. She has compromised. She's young, but she has a compromised immune system. So many other people have a dude who come record music at my studio. He also have a compromised. He's doing good, and just gotta be careful. You gotta know what's going on. Be careful. That's what I wish the government could do. Just give us the facts. Let people make up their mind. You do what you're supposed to do. Really, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. How about you just protect, pave the road, protect people from all kind of stuff, the other stuff, and stop telling people how to live their life. Okay, but it is what it is. Like I said, and as you just seen, it is black, white, even no difference. All those people combined, no difference. Because evil is evil, no matter what race, party, sex, gender, height. I mean, no nationality. Evil is just evil. So, anyway, this was a precise cut straight into it. Project Open Mic. So I hope you guys had a little difficulties in some places, but again, hope you guys enjoy the show. Hope you guys could join us tomorrow for the side chat where we talk about certain things. So with that said, talking about the side chat, we're gonna not gonna be a little more rambunctious tomorrow. If one of the videos I want to use. But again, I know we don't have a crossbeat, but you can check us out at Project Open Mic on Twitter and on Instagram. If you want to directly get to us, Project Open Mic p3@gmail.com. And again, thank you all. Facebook, YouTube, Tempo FM. We're going to expand into Spotify and other stuff once we get to it. So hope you guys can join us in that regard. If you have that, 2021, let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But always, just keep it what it is. So hope you guys have a good weekend. If you don't, go back and join us tomorrow for the Project Open Mic side chat. With that said, you know what I always say, people are stupid, individuals are smart. So, be a smart individual. You have yourself a good night. Peace out. Take for Project Open Mic.